A new, take it or leave it United States of Europe is the best answer to the political and economic woes facing the continent, Martin Schulz, the head of Germany's Social Democrats, said on Thursday. Schulz, Chancellor Angela Merkel's last best hope for forming a stable German coalition government, proposed replacing the EU with the United States of Europe by 2025. The UK faces a deadline to meet key Brexit conditions, and China, the US, and Europe's biggest economies report their latest import and export numbers. US Senator Kirsten Gillibrand of New York joined other Democrats on Wednesday calling for fellow party member Al Franken, the senator from Minnesota, to resign after new allegations of sexual misconduct against him. A U.S. federal investigator probing alleged Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. presidential election asked Deutsche Bank for data on accounts held by President Donald Trump and his family, but Trump's lawyer denied any such subpoena had been issued. Spain's Supreme Court has withdrawn an international arrest warrant for Catalonia's former leader, but he may still be detained if he attempts to return from self-imposed exile. President Vladimir Putin confirmed he would run for re-election in March 2018, a contest he would be expected to win comfortably, extending his grip on power into a third decade. Populist firebrand Steve Bannon savaged national Republican leaders in a fiery call to rally voters behind embattled Senate candidate Roy Moore as the battle for the GOP's soul played out in rural Alabama. U.S. President Donald Trump has recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital despite intense Arab, Muslim and European opposition to a move that would upend decades of U.S. policy and risk potentially violent protests. 3 fires are burning out of control around Los Angeles, prompting officials to declare a state of emergency. The UK faces a deadline to meet key Brexit conditions, and China, the US, and Europe's biggest economies report their latest import and export numbers. He told a party convention in Berlin that under his plan there would be a new treaty to create a federal Europe, with centralized control of domestic and foreign security, tax and monetary affairs, asylum and international development. Citizens across Europe would help draft the constitutional treaty. If member states did agree, they would simply leave the EU, Schulz said, adding that Poland was systematically undermining European values, and Hungary was increasingly isolating itself. The use would be no threat to its member states, but a beneficial addition, said Schulz, who was president of the European Parliament from 2012 to 2017 before his underwhelming attempt to oust Merkel in the recent German election. But the speech was received with surprise in many quarters, and hostility from Brexiteers and Eurosceptics. Peter Klepp, head of the Brussels office at the Open Europe think tank, said Schulz had made himself the EU's worst enemy by pushing the idea at this time. Get the latest news and updates emailed straight to your inbox. By submitting your email, you are agreeing to Fairfax Media's terms and conditions and privacy policy.